This week, I want to talk to you about some jobs in the film industry that you may not know exist. The first one is seat fillers. These are people brought in to fill seats, and it's somebody's job to make sure those seats are filled by seat fillers. This is used at award shows, live shows, such as Saturday Night Live, Academy Awards, Emmy Awards, Tony Awards, anything that's going live where there's supposed to be people in the seat. There are people out there making sure that there are people filling them. The second job I want to mention that's in the industry is a runner. So runners are people who work on film sets, and this is a great entry-level type of job, though there are people who are very skilled at this, and it's not only entry-level, but if you're starting out, you don't know what department you want to be in, you want to learn about departments, being a runner is a noble job, and it's a hard job. You're the person being sent out when something's needed, whether it's food, lighting gear, you're just running. You're running to get stuff. That's your job. And it's a very important job, especially on an indie film set where something's always missing and everybody's on the clock and the clock is ticking rapidly. To have people to rely on who can go out and get things and make sure we can keep going, all of us together, that's a really important position. Another job is the clapper loader. So on a film where you have the clapboard where it goes like that, right? We still use those in the digital world because you still have to sync sound. That's for sound syncing. So you have a visual with a noise to set up your footage, each take, right, in your editing system, for those of you that don't know. And there's somebody whose job it is to fill that board. Now, whether it's a digital board and they're loading the information in of what needs to be said, scene, take, director, date, all those things, or if they're actually handwriting it, some sets do still use handwritten boards, believe it or not. It's out there, it's easy to do, so why not? And there's someone whose job it is to keep track, and it seems like, what a ridiculous job. Anybody can do that. But when the day is moving fast and you need to make sure the right take number is on there so later the editor's not pulling their hair out, wondering which is take one, which is take two, you wrote take two 4 times, I don't know. There's all kinds of minutia in there, and it's a very important job. And you have to be on the ball and you have to be fast moving and you need to be prepared, because if you don't have that filled out and everybody's waiting for you to fill it out to get to the next take, people are unhappy. The next job sounds like a lot of fun. It's called the shopper. Who doesn't love to go shopping, right? But actually, it's a very stressful job because you're shopping for a wardrobe department, right, that has very specific parameters of what they're looking for. Like, I need a scarf that looks like it's from the 1970s that is this color orange with this color brown in it and a little mustard yellow. And you're running to tons of thrift stores trying to find that perfect item. And there's a list that long. Not everybody is making costumes from scratch. That's not affordable for all films. So it's a lot of running, a lot of shopping, a lot of returning and reshopping. The next one's a very fun title, Sexgrapher. That's the person who stages sex scenes. It's a very specific job in the industry, believe it or not. It's like a choreographer, but for sex scenes. And it needs to be filled by somebody who knows how to be creative, who knows how the cameras are going to be moving, how it's going to look in the shot, and also keep the actors comfortable and work within their parameters as well, and not have it look awkward. When you just make out with somebody, sometimes there's those awkward moments, but in movies, nobody accidentally bumps somebody on the arm or rolls over funny in bed no, it's all perfect. And there's a reason why. It's staged and rehearsed by a professional. And the last job I want to tell you about is a brand new one, and this isn't really the title, but I like to call it this. It's the COVID police. That's right. There's somebody on set making sure that all the COVID policy rules to keep everybody safe are in place. And it's a tough job because people are used to working close up. They're used to not having masks on. They're used to just hanging out in the area where everybody's eating and not worrying about how close they are to somebody because their mask is off. And it's a tough position to be in because you want everybody to like you, you want to be friends with people, you want to get along with your colleagues, but you're the person telling them when they're making all of those mistakes. And that's really, really difficult. So hats off to all of you out there keeping us safe. See you next time.